Yeah, there we go. All right, let me just double check that's on. Oh, come on, YouTube. Yep, we are live. All right. Okay. File the intro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the GNR Designs GTE series. It's round 2, and we're here in the heart of Belgium, the Ardennes Forest of Spa Francorchamps for round number 2. What an iconic, legendary circuit this is to be a part of for this fantastic GTE event. I'm Matthew Duffin in the commentary box with Jim Cunningham, bringing you all the action live this evening. Missed last week due to birthday celebrations, but I'm back for round 2, and you'll have me through the entirety of the season apart from the 16th of January away that night as well. But I'll be bringing you the action all season long as we are into the qualifying session at the moment. Just coming towards its abrupt end in this 10-minute qualifying session. Jack Ashton is currently the man on pole position so far with a 2-minute 14.9. He's some 8 tenths quicker than Ian Knox at this moment in the session. There you see the timing tower on the left-hand side of your screen. Brilliant little series to be a part of here in the GTs. Obviously the two classes, you can see the blue and the grey numbers on the side of the tower, meaning the two different classes we have in store for you, as Taylor there moves up in towards P number 5. So Taylor just improving towards the very end here at Spa. But a great bit of action we had last time out. Round 2 is going to provide even more drama, I'm sure of that one. A Ford, BMW, Porsches, Corvettes and Ferraris out there on the circuit tonight to all challenge this fantastic, legendary and iconic circuit. And it is the newer Spa layout as well, with the gravel added to the exterior of the circuit to just, get them drivers to be caught out a little bit more, possibly, as this session goes on. The grid for this first race, for the race tonight, is Jack Ashton on pole from Ian Knox in second. Ken Huber is in P3 with Andy Pratt P4. Josh Taylor is P5 with Chad Henson in P6. Garrett Kinney is 7th place alongside Stuart Brereton. Brandon White is P9 with Jeff Manning P10. Parker Enquist is P11 with Kaysen Collier in P12. P13 will be that of Brandon Smith with Eric Orchin in P14. Philip Grusing is P15. Reece Bartlett will be 16th place. Ian Coates in 17th with Sam Hager in 18th. And rounding out the back of the grid is Garassi himself, who will be trying to take advantage at the start here as we get ready for the short formation lap to take us through the back part of the circuit and towards turn 1 of La Source before heading to probably the most famous corner in world motorsport, that of El Rouge, in towards Radion. It's going to be a great day of action. It's a beautiful scenery here in Belgium. The sun is shining on us today, and this should be a spectacular race to go and watch and see what we can get from these drivers on the grid. It is a lovely 29 degrees, 48 degrees track temperature, dry circuit, 0% chance of rain, it says at the bottom, and that is what we love to see. Everybody is taken to the grid, and we are underway for the formation lap for the 45-minute race here in this GTE category. Obviously, the GTEs no longer used in the real world on World Endurance, but it's great to see them out here on the iRacing platform. That Ford GT is on pole position alongside the Corvette itself, with the old Ferrari lurking in P number 3 and a Porsche. It's good to see 4 different manufacturers in that top 4. A couple of BMW. Reece Bartlett actually hasn't taken to the start, so he'll be coming from the pit lane. He's missed the start here in this for the start of this race as we come towards the bus stop chicane for the formation lap. And Ashton and Knox, Corvette versus Ford GT. Who's going to be the driver to take the win tonight? Can Jack Ashton take it from pole position? Well, he's already put his foot to the floor. It's green and go here at Spa. It's a great start from Ashton. Knox has already come straight across to cover that off of Huber. A little bit of contact between the two of them as they head down in towards turn number 1. The Porsche there of Pratt comes through into 4th place. And it's a good clean getaway from everybody in the background as well. So it's a nice start from all the drivers. A lovely looking livery on that green Ferrari there of Taylor, putting the pressure on Henson just in front of him as they come up through El Rouge now and over Radion they go. It is nice and clean up through Radion. I say that, 2 yellow flags, 3 yellow flags now. That'll be for track limits. Coming over the Radion section, down the Kemmel straight, though, a chance for a bit of slipstream. You see the pink Roxy GT looking Porsche there on the outside as we've got a couple side by side coming in towards the com for the first time, and it's nice and clean through there as well Great respect being shown from these drivers already on the opening lap of this race. And this is White, Brandon White, who is on the rear of Taylor now, looking to make a move in that Porsche as they come down towards the long hurry up and wait corner, as I like to call it, of the right hand. You've got to be patient on the accelerator as you come through. Dropping back down to Brandon Smith now in that grey Porsche himself. Not the cleanest of exit through no name he has there, and that could allow the Corvette onto the back of him in towards Pouan. They go for the first time. Great getaway though from All Included here, and we're on board now with Brereton, who has got that Ford GT of Enquist on the back of him. A lovely looking green, sort of white into green and black livery there, and that is a real looking car, clean looking car as well. And can that Ford GT do anything over the BMW in front of it? As we go on board with now Josh Taylor, another nice looking green livery there. It's got the pink Porsche, the Roxy looking Porsche in front of him, and he's got another Porsche of whites just behind him, that Ferrari, trying to come through Blanchimont now in towards the bus stop chicane. And this is Enquist having a look up the inside on the BMW. Blanchimont backs out of that one, probably the sensible option as they go through Blanchimont now towards the bus stop chicane. Can that Ford GT get up the inside on the brakes in towards the bus stop chicane? No, it can't. And he gets really close to the back of the BMW, has a bit of a wiggle coming through the bus stop, and that doesn't allow Parker Enquist to get a run out of the chicane to have a look down in towards La Source. But they're going to try it anyway as they come to start lap number 2 now. The Ford GT just creeping onto the back of that BMW under the braking, but can't capitalise, as you can see there, out the traction of the corner. He just cannot capitalise there. Little bit of contact in the background. It looked like there was 2 or 3 drivers involved with that one. Orchin has dropped down a position. We have got Reece Bartlett in this race, so that's good to see. This is what has happened down at turn 1. It's Orchin then who pulls to that inside line in the Corvette and just he kind of gets turned in on by the Porsche there. Loses his front bumper for good measure as well. But yeah, it looked like the Porsche just turned in on him a little too much as that Corvette got alongside. That is what happened in the background on turn number 1. Oh, I didn't realise that Jim was commentating. I thought he was just bringing us the cameras. Sorry, Jim, apologies.
You're doing great. Just go ahead. I was just to give some background to that. Most of the time that we work together, I usually just do production and don't do commentary when we're working together. So yep. I guess he figured I was just here for cameras tonight.
Apologies, Jim. How are we, Jim?
I'm good, man. It's good to be here with you. It's exciting. This is a great racing series, and you can't ask for a better track than Spa to bring these GTE cars to. One of my favorite cars in all of iRacing, to be honest with you. Yeah. I love driving them. I love the fact that they don't have ABS, but they do have a little traction control. I just love everything about them. I love the way they drive.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of driving them recently. I'm on Ultimate, sort of got myself into that a little bit recently.
Yes,
so
that's my game of choice these days. My sim of choice. I hate to say game. That's a bad word around these parts.
Well, we've got the 2 Porsches having a little battle. Brandon White looking to the outside now as they come in towards Blanchimont. Going to stay behind and try and get a good run through the left-hander towards the bus stop chicane. There you go. Is this an opportunity to look up the inside? Well, he's having a good look later on the brakes. Up the inside he goes. It'll be the inside for the first part of the Corvette, nearly into the back of the pink Porsche, and the outside for the second part of the bus stop. And we all stay as we were. The Corvette there nearly into the rear end of the red and white Porsche of Brandon White there. But yeah, what a setting for these GT cars. I kind of miss the GT cars in the real world endurance champion.
Absolutely. Love them. I wish they would bring them back, but obviously they're not. But I absolutely love these cars.
They just bring something a little different, don't they, than the GT3s that we get nowadays.
Well, and if I'm being honest, as a commentator, this. We call every race we call is a GT3 race. You know what I mean? There's just so many of them. It's just so nice to have something different, and these cars are just so much fun to drive. Like you said, whether you're driving them on iRacing or Le Mans Ultimate, they're just fun to drive.
We've got a few cars going side by side here in towards Le Combe. That's the 2 Porsches having a little bit of a squabble there, and that's going to allow Kinney to come up the inside of Brandon White, who must have gone deep at Le Combe. He's picked himself up a slowdown as well for his troubles. And in the background there, look, we've got Brereton and Enquist going at it as well. And two side by side coming into the long right-hander, and it looks like Enquist has got ahead of the BMW finally. So the 4GT car can now move on its way further forward once again to try and tackle the cars in front of him. But it's been a good, clean start to the race here, hasn't it? Only that one little bump into turn one so far.
Yeah, not bad. And I'll tell you what, I don't know Ian Knox. If I do, I don't recognize him. Obviously, I know Jack Ashton. He's a real professional racing driver and a coach, and he has his own leagues on iRacing that he coaches the guys and then they review after the race. It's a really great deal. He's fast, man, and I don't know this Ian Knox guy, but to be sticking to Jack like this is pretty impressive. To be honest, and wait a minute. Was the back end of his car knocked off, or is it just because it's black? No, it's just because it's black.
It's the diffuser at the bottom, isn't it?
I thought it was. I thought he had gotten into some incident already, but there's nobody out there quick enough to catch him to hit him anyway.
Now he's 4/10 faster than Knox on the last lap. I feel like I've seen the name Ian Knox around myself.
I know, right? It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him around somewhere, but I can't for love nor money think where. Great little battle going on here, though. Look at Enquist and Brereton in the background. Still that BMW trying to challenge the Ford just behind the Kinney Corvette there. And has that BMW got underneath the exit of turn one? No, it has not. You got the Porsche then of Collier and Grusing just behind these two having a fight as well. There is the Roxy-inspired Porsche car of Jeff Manning, who is piloting that one down towards down the Camel Straight. There you go. He's done a fantastic job to just open up a bit of a gap. The BMW in the background
a battle
as well.
there.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh, look
really
nearly on the grass.
He's
nearly on the grass to try and get past. That is Brereton once again, who's still putting Enquist under pressure. And Parker Enquist got ahead of the BMW a lap or two ago, and he's not able to capitalise and pull away at the moment.
No, but what's funny is he looks very calm the way his car's not jerking around at all. And it seems like Brereton back there is just doing everything he can to try to get by him. And it's just like Enquist just seems to be really calm, the way he's driving right now. But yeah, this is two great battles right here. You got this one, and then the one right in front of it was a three-car battle. It's kind of turned into a two, as Manning there in the Rexy, the pink Rexy livery, is kind of pulled away.
Yeah, he has a little bit, hasn't he? But
McKinney picked up a slowdown last time we came through the bus stop here. If you remember, he almost hit the Porsche in the back and had to cut across. The curbing there, and he picked up a slowdown for that, so he recovered pretty nicely from that.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a bit of pace on board that Corvette tonight, and it's nice to see a Corvette looking competitive, because the GT3 Corvette just still a little off the pace of the other GT3
word
cars.
on the street is that new update they just did is they repaired the Corvette a little bit, along with the new tire model, and it's not supposed to be so wild to drive now. So a lot of people are saying the Corvette may be the car for the Daytona and Sebring and things like that. We'll see.
We're not far away from Daytona, are we, for the official iRacing?
No, we got the roar before the 24 in I think 3 weeks.
Yeah, can't wait, to be fair. The motor racing's just ended in the real world, hasn't it? Formula One's come to an end. It's like, what do I do? And then you look at the calendar and think, it's only a month till Daytona. So, let's take to the virtual world for a little bit. Knox there, personal best, was only a 10th off the back of Ashton's last time around. So he's not looking too bad, is Ian Knox, at the moment. He's got some pace out there. Here we go, the two Porsches down the Camel Straight, side by side, in towards Lecombe. They're about to break for, and it's the Jeff Manning pink Porsche on that inside line. It'll be the outside for the second part of Lecombe. You can hold it around here, little bit of contact maybe, and that has allowed through that of Manning. And somebody's tumbled down the order a little bit. Enquist dropped down, so his car was looking okay. Was there contact between him and the BMW? We've seen that BMW try and follow in the slipstream.
No.
So far, so good.
He got on the curb, just gassed it up and lost it. Actually, there was a little contact, but
the contact after the spin. So the BMW's just tapped the rear of that Ford Mustang. That's going to be a nightmare.
Look at this. We've got more action here.
This is
just
Brandon
happened.
White in the red and white Porsche on that inside of the Corvette, being squeezed through. No name. Oh, no. Squeezed a little too much. Oh, and then the pink Roxy's in the wall.
No.
Well, it's all going off. A clean few opening laps, and it's all now become chaos.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's unfortunate for the pink car there.
That was literally our two best battles on track all at one time. Oh, my God. That Porsche's tore up. Look at it.
It's going to be an engine failure.
Oh, yeah. He blew that thing up. Yeah.
That's going to be a big pit stop for Jeff Manning there. We've got the meatball flag as well for Kinney. And all of a sudden, Kinney's now coming past, being passed by that the BMW of Brereton. And well, with that amount of damage, the meatball flag, I'm not surprised he's being overtaken here because it's probably going to be a bit of a handful, that Corvette. And the Corvette couldn't really do a lot about that, could he, Jim? Because he was alongside just and kind of got squeezed.
Yeah, there wasn't much there he could do. I'm going to go back and look at that in a second once we get everything settled out here and see where our battles are, which everything seems to be kind of gapped out. All right, I want to go back and look at that one more time if I can. All right, let's see.
Kinney's in the pits, as we now know, because of the meatball flag. Enquist in as well. He lost his rear wing. Knocks out front's got the gap down 0.6 of a second. Let's take a look.
This is the other one. This is after. This is what just this.
Yeah,
is,
this is just now.
Yeah, apparently.
So this is him coming into the pit lane.
Yeah, which it shows. Weirdly enough, it shows on my timing screen as a crash when they go into pit lane. So
right,
we're
so
side by side here. Let's get a different angle on this.
If we can, let's try and go on board the pink Porsche, because I think that'll be the best view of that one to see if we can do that. The pink Porsche is Jeff Manning. Let's see if we can get an on board of him just behind these two. So you can see there the Corvette's on the outside. He's got a little bit of that car in front. The red and white Porsche just across the Corvette, and Manning there nowhere to go.
No, I agree. I think that the Corvette was innocent by in everything. He got his nose got crossed. The first Porsche spun, and then he got rear-ended because he was on the brakes trying to avoid the first one. Yeah, that's a mess. That's
that was a big mess as well.
Though.
2 lots of damages for 2 of the drivers, 2 meatball flags. That could be Manning out of this race. Well, it will be Manning out of this race. He can get back out on track, but he's not really going to gain anything from this one. This, though, is Ian Knox in the Corvette putting pressure on Ashton in that Ford GT. Pulls to the outside line now. Gets alongside, sort of half a car length alongside, but backs out of that one. He's going to try and get a better run through the bus stop chicane down towards La Source. Goes Knox now. Got a bit of pace about him all of a sudden. Ashton's just been gapping him a little bit, and he's slowly brought the gap down.
He does. But, one of the things that's so cool about, guys who are high skill level racing drivers is, it's not near as much about the way they get in the turn. It's the way they get off the turn.
Yeah.
And that makes them so hard to pass, man, because they just prioritize that exit. Let's see. I'm seeing if he's going to get a little draft here. That Porsche may actually end up hurting him.
I think it did hurt him a little bit on his run up El Rouge, but not too much. Ashton comes across. That Porsche going to break a little earlier just to tuck him behind the 2 leaders, and Knox still on the rear there. The Ford of Ashton just a little too much kick. Just have a little wiggle.
That's the Rexy Porsche, isn't it?
Yes, that's Manning back out the pit lane. So he's actually still on the lead lap of everybody, bar the 2 that's just passed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Not too bad for him.
No, considering what happened there. I mean, because he hit the wall hard. They must have a fast repair because that car was smoking pretty bad.
Yeah, that smoking like that shouldn't be repaired as quick as that was.
No,
so
he was only shows on pit lane for 3 minutes. Well, that was most of that was the tow, I'm sure.
Yes, 100%. He is, so Orchin is only about half a lap in front of him, actually, so there might be places for Jeff Manning to get back there as Garassi has just picked himself up a slowdown. And Knox, well, he's throwing everything at this, that he went into the gravel trap on the outside of the Piff Paff chicane. And, that's compromised him quite a bit of time there. He's lost about half a second to Ashton. He's really throwing that Corvette around.
Well, that's a good sign. Well, of course, the GTE Corvettes are different than the GT3s. You could sling the GTE Corvette around a little more. Still not
Yeah.
my car of choice in this category. If I've always been partial to the Porsche, to the Ferrari, but the Ford GT has gotten a lot more competitive in the last year, and I haven't really driven it much. That's my favorite car of this field. I love the Ford GTs, but obviously being an American, and that's just it's it's just kind of one of those things. It's so much history in the Ford GT here in America with the whole movie thing, and really brought all that to prominence. But Jack sure makes it look fast, and I've covered another GT E series recently, and the GTE was very fast there as well. The Ford.
I haven't driven the Ford GTE since Project Cars 2 days, and that used to be my car of go-to choice on Project Cars 2. But I'm a big Ford fan myself. I do enjoy the Ford GT, and Ashton's making it work for him at the moment. But Knox is slowly again just chipped away a little bit back onto the rear of Knox here.
To be honest with you, I think that Jack is controlling that to some degree. You know what I mean? I don't think Jack is pushing hard, and like I said, it's just so hard to pass a skilled racing driver because they like most of us that are not that extremely skilled, we overdrive the entry of the corner and we lose the exit because of that. Good professional racing drivers do just the opposite of that, and they get off the corner so well that you can't get a run on them.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to be clever in your racing, and it's all right trying to be, getting a good entry. You're going to lose more time on that exit. It is how you exit these corners, isn't it? And if Jack Ashton, the professional that he is, he's just going to know that and take every bit of advantage of that everywhere he's going at the moment. But we'll see what Ian Knox can do to fight this one. But I agree. I think Ashton is controlling this race. I think he's just maintaining that gap. He's not letting Ashton put him under too much pressure. They got side by side a couple of laps ago at the final chicane, but Ashton's not really been under any threat from Knox ever since.
No, not really. And I think, I think that Knox can get close because of the entry. Like right here, you see, he sent it in there deep and he got close, but coming off the exit, he's not going to be able to maintain that because he's not going to get the run off the exit.
I don't know.
Well, that was better. But that was better. That was better, actually. Of course, he's going to prove me wrong on the one corner that I try to point it out. But like right here, for example, at La Source, this is a great example of, see, he got in the gravel there a little bit and spun his tires in the gravel just a touch. And that's all it takes. I mean, it's, even with the draft, he's not going to catch him now. And this is, arguably the best place to pass on this track right here, or obviously going to the bus stop.
It is indeed, and he's within that 3.5 temps. The slipstream might now just be coming into effect for the second place man of Knox, but he's not going to get close enough under that braking, and slowing fast out really does say what it means what it says, doesn't it? You've kind of got to take that advice. It's not just there as a saying. That's the kind of way to race.
Well, again, there's nothing wrong with sending it deep and doing that, because that's the only way Knox is going to get by him, is to outbrake him, and get in there, because you're not going to beat him off the corner because he's so good at prioritizing the exit of the corner. So the only way you're going to pass him is to put a move on him going into one of these turns, but you got to be close enough to do that, So what a great camera angle that is.
It's beautiful on the curve, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Come right through poo on there as they come into where are we now? Piff Paff chicane, and I think the thing for Knox is if he does send one, you're kind of almost trying to distract the driver in front by making a bit of a lunge, put him off his line, put him off his exit, and that's how Knox is going to that's the only way I could see Knox getting past in this race. But the leaders so far well clear of third place, 6 seconds up the road, and. He's not Andy Pratt's, just there for a podium. He's not a million miles away. He's within a second.
No, he's close. I think that could develop into a battle. That is let's just say, a colorful Porsche. That is, Whoops.
I think it's got every colour known to man on that car, hasn't it?
Quite a few. Some of them look like they're chrome looking. It's
Yeah.
that's quite a paint job he's got going on there.
Yeah.
Well, you won't miss that one on the track anyway.
No, you won't miss that one. I actually ran a BMW M4 GT3 on Assetto Corsa Competizione. 24 hours of Spa we did. We kind of went with a similar colour. And the only factor was, you're not going to miss it, are you, on a 24-hour race in the dark? So we chose a similar
There's a lot
colour
to be said for that.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan, but we did it anyway.
Oh, he's on him now, though. Look at this.
He is on him. Yeah, just under 2 temps, gets a great run through Radion. Which way is he going to go? Surely Ashton's going to force him to that outside line, kind of in the middle of the road, just over to the right-hand side a little bit. Now Knox pulls over to that right-hand side. But no urgency from Knox, you feel. You feel that draft would have put him alongside a little bit.
No, I think, at best, at this point in the race, I think he's probably going to show him his nose and maybe try to get him off his line or whatever. But I don't think he has any desire to try to make a move on him yet. He's going to save it because he knows he's just going to be a victim. Yeah. If you're going to get him, you got to get him and win the race. Getting him and giving him 4 or 5 laps to get back by you is not a good plan, really.
Well, this is it. It's according to my time tower, it's a 45-minute race. I see it's in laps. So 45 minutes over the case of laps, I think.
And just for the record, so everybody knows, since I came in late, I'm just filling in for your regular host, James. He's doing some of that family Christmas stuff right now. So I wanted. Let me see. I think I can put a time up there as well.
Yeah. So at the moment we are 22 minutes into this 45-minute race, and like you've just said, Knox is going to be a bit wary of that one and not want to do the move now and have Ashton all over the back of him until the end of the race. He's going to want to be the person to stick to the back of Ashton and try and make that move later on when it matters, when it's only going to be a lap or two that he's got to defend from the Ford GT car himself. Scottish driver of Coach down in 13th place. He's got that of Reece Bartlett on the back of him. So we've got Pro and Am standings as well.
Yeah, just split them up for a second so we can see. We hadn't really talked about that, but Brighton is leading the amateurs with Smith not that far behind. A couple of positions actually on track, though. As you can see, it's grouped by on track position right there. So.
Yeah, he's got a good, comfortable gap, hasn't he?
He does, yeah. He really does.
And that's kind of going to work in his favour a little bit. And this is the interesting thing. And I love this with sort of tiered racing in the same categories. You're not only fighting the cars in another tier, in another category, you're fighting each other. And, that could make for some good points. Hager then into the pit lane. So he's brought himself into the pits from 3rd place in that AM category then. And that's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on where he comes out. But at the moment, Knox doing an incredible job. He's lost a bit of time to Ashton, but he's just still on that second mark.
Yeah, they're still hovering on right around that second to, when he gets right up on him, it's, he gets down to about 3/10. But I would imagine that it's been a while since I just noticed it looked like Reece Bartlett had another incident. I hate to see that. Let's go see what happened to him over here.
So this is
going into the source here.
Yeah, the source. A little late on the brakes. Has a bit of a lock up. Round it goes.
I can't tell you how many times I've done that.
tell me about it. Bit too loud on the accelerator and the rear goes.
Keep that up. And these cars. The thing about these cars is they do have traction control. But, you have to be fast in these cars, you have to keep the traction control relatively low. You still have to have some skill on the accelerator here to really make these cars work. And they have a lot of power to weight ratio. They're pretty easy to do that with, especially with the rear end on these cars. Especially if you drive them like I do. I drive them pretty pointy on the front end, so I like the rear ends to be loose. So it's really easy, like that right there. That's what happens.
Just slid through the exit of the chicane. He's lost a lot of time. That might be why Ashton's just going to set a fastest lap and was 1.5 seconds quicker than Knox on that last lap, and that's why the gap's opened up to 2 seconds there.
Jack just turned it up, huh?
I think now's the time he's gone, right, coming to the just over midway, so I'm going to now put the throttle down a little bit more. Kinney down the order. He's within 3/10 of the back of Coates then.
Yes.
So this could be an interesting one to keep our eyes on between the Corvette.
Well, and we saw Kinney have that horrible luck earlier. I mean, literally sandwiched in a Porsche sandwich that didn't work out in his favor at all.
No, it didn't at all, and he clearly had the pace to be running up the order a little bit. So now he's going to try and make some overtakes. Another brightly coloured Porsche there on the front end, especially as Kinney's going to go and look up the inside and towards the chicane. Runs a little deep and into the side of the Porsche, and that's what the ABS will do. No ABS on these cars, easy to lock up, and it just looked like Kinney there had a bit of a lock up into the side of Coates himself.
Yeah, and it almost seemed like I might even say that was a kind of a double situation. It seemed like that Coates turned in on him briefly there, right as, let's see, we'll stay with this chopper view and see. I'm not sure. See, he was way inside. No, he did. He locked up and slid right up into the Porsche. Yeah, that's so easy to do in these cars, and that's another reason why in these cars you don't necessarily want to be on the outside of someone in that spot.
Yes.
Whereas with the GT3 cars, it's not quite as dangerous because those cars are just designed to where you can just stomp on the brakes and that ABS will take care of it.
And you've really got to be careful, haven't you? Like we've just said about the traction, very easy to just lose the rear on too much power out the corner. Same for the braking. You go too heavy on the brakes into a corner, and it's very easy to lock up, just go straight on. And if you're a car on the outside,
and especially here, you got these elevation changes where the car sometimes it loads up on you and puts way too much load on the front tires and causes them to lock up, or vice versa. You crest a little hill as you're trying to brake, and the car gets really light, and the same thing can happen on acceleration. I was thinking when we were looking at that Kinney car a minute ago. You and I have done some other GT3 series together, and I have to say that livery right there, just, I don't know, kind of reminds me of the type of stuff that we liked in that other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we were voting for the best livery and stuff, and I think that one might have got some votes from us in that other league. Just a good looking car. I love liveries. People. I don't know if many people care as much as I do about it. To me, it's a huge part. And that was one of the things that held me off of Le Mans Ultimate in the beginning. I hated running the same liveries that everybody else was running.
Yes. Yeah.
And once the liveries came in, it really opened me up to the sim a lot more. I mean, I raced it because I liked it, but
I'm fully with you though, Jim. I'm a livery guy. I think it's easy on the eye when you're looking at some nice cars out on the circuit. Knox has pitted, so he's dropped down a couple of places.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was trying to figure out what happened. I missed that he pitted. So right now it looks like most everybody has pitted except for our top 5, and then 7th and 8th, I believe. So Knox has pitted and came back out in 6th place.
It shows the pace he's had to clear the amount of drivers that he's been able to clear. Look, and nobody's even behind him. There's the next corner coming through no name as he's entering into P1.
Yeah.
He's doing quite the job as Knox. And undercut, possibly. Clear air in front, that's going to be the crucial thing for Knox in this race. With that clear air, can he put some good lap times in and maybe just start to eke back a little time over Ashton when he makes the
I would argue that in a lot of places, clear air is probably a good thing. Here, I would think that with these big straightaways and stuff that you have, that I would think that a toe would be more valuable.
Well, we're about to find out because Ashton's into the pit,
right,
so we'll see how good Knox's outlap was.
Well, he was about 2.5 seconds back, if I'm not mistaken, when he pitted, because he had dropped off because of that. That other, mainly because of Jack Ashton's blistering lap. Yeah. So actually, they all came in together there. So Knox pitted a lap early.
Ashton's on his way out, and Knox is
right there.
There. So Ashton's off the limiter. I think he's actually, I think you might have been right because it's now 8.6, 4.7. It's just going to take a while to just sort of catch up on the timing screen. 4.7.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
I think will be the gap. So Ashton, just the overcut is the strategy to do here. And you might have been right there, Jim, with that slipstream that you're going to need.
Well,
This has put Manning in the Porsche, though, back on the lead lap. And he's only 39 seconds off the back of the next car. So to say his engine had blew up, he's still in this race potentially.
Well, so the question is a lap 5 pit stop going to do him, though, or is he going to still have to pit?
Yes.
You know,
not 100% sure.
So
we'll
if he
find
has
out,
to
won't we?
pit, then, just it's the same thing like Parker Inquest. He's pitting. So Parker had pitted on lap 3, I think, I believe it was, or 5, and because of the accident he had to pit, and so did Reese Bartlett, who's had some incidents. So I would say that yes, Manning more than likely will have to pit again.
Well, we've got about 14 minutes left of this race. It's been a decent race so far as well.
Oh,
Only a
good,
few
yeah.
instances that's happened a couple of laps in. And at the moment, it's going in the way of that of Jack Ashton, who is 6.8 clear of Knox. That is some margin. Here is cruising down in 8th. Cason Collier in P7 at the moment. He's chasing down second place in and that is the car of Kinney in that Corvette. Who looks like he's got a bit of damage.
Kenny pitted.
Yes.
So he pitted and got his damage. So if lap 5 will work, then Kenny's going to, come out okay considering what happened to his car. And there's the Porsche back there behind him. If you see him back there, I saw him in the picture. Was it Manning?
Yeah, the red and white one.
The red and white
it was
one.
The,
that was,
yeah.
Was that Smith?
I can't remember. It wasn't. I think no, White.
White. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can see White right behind Kenny there on that straightaway. So that's the 2 cars that were, 2 of the cars that were involved in that incident.
Yeah. It looks like he's got a few scuffs on the front of his Corvette. That might be the cause of the incident with the Porsche of White a little earlier on. So yeah, about 13 minutes left to go in this race, and so far Ashton's got this one in the bag. But to be fair, the top 4 they're pretty comfortable. Henson's just under 2 seconds to Pratt, so can he maybe try and close that gap down a little bit? We'll see what happens. But this is Cason Collier in another nice looking livery, to be fair, on that Porsche, the yellow
all
and blue.
the Porsches in this league are very colorful.
Yeah, they've gone all out, haven't they, at the Porsche
right.
teams this season. They've decided to put a few colours on the cars, and what can the Porsche do? It's an interesting car choice over some of the others.
I'm not a fan of the Porsche as much. I do like driving it, and there's certain tracks that I love driving it at, but here not as much. I would probably choose. Possibly the Ford just to try it out, but more than likely, the Ferrari or
Oh, he's got a great one.
Yeah,
He's got a great one through Radion now onto the Camel Straight. He's already pulled to that outside line as they head down towards Le Com. This is Cason Collier fully alongside that now of Kinney. In towards the Com, they break, and he's right around the outside under the braking, and he manages to keep that one ahead. I've never been a Porsche fan in any forms of racing. I don't know why.
I don't like driving the GT3 ones.
No, I can't stand them.
Especially in Le Mans Ultimate, because I can't see out of it for some reason. It's got this like hanging down electronic box that blocks your vision up in the top right-hand corner or left-hand corner, and I hate it. But the GTE Porsche in Le Mans Ultimate is pretty good to drive, and I love all the GT3 cars or GTE cars in iRacing. All of them are fun to drive.
I've not driven iRacing for years, and I only did the MX-5, so I've got no other experience racing any other car bar the MX-5 on iRacing. It's been it's got to have been at least 10 years since I last drove iRacing, only purely because the PC kept freezing when I was racing it, so I kind of didn't renew my subscription and didn't go back to it.
To be fair, it's getting worse again. These new tracks that they're coming out with are so heavily detailed, and the graphics are so heavy they're starting to cause people's computers, so people are having to turn their graphic settings down and stuff. And
I saw the other day. Is it Adelaide coming to
Adelaide?
iRacing?
Yeah, it just came out. Adelaide and Miami. both of which are taxing on the computer.
Yeah. Adelaide, great circuit. Miami, not a fan.
Yeah, that's the way I felt too. I'm going to give it a chance, though. I haven't driven it yet, but I did put in the new Porsche Cup car just came out on iRacing last week. And so I put in 20 laps at Adelaide or so with it and loved it. A lot of people who know about real race cars, that drive real race cars, for example, Daniel Morad being one of them. He drives the GT3 and GT4 cars for Mercedes in the IMSA series, and some stuff like GT Challenge or something like that, whatever it is. But anyway, he said that it is the most accurate car in all of sim racing right now.
What, the new Porsche Cup car?
Yeah, he said that the new Porsche Cup car on iRacing is the most accurate car in all of sim racing right now.
Oh, there we go. Hopefully we get to see some more Porsche Cup Series come up then, because that'll be brilliant to see.
Let's see, I just coming up to check on our leader here. No real change in the gap.
Miami might be interesting with different car categories going around Miami. For Formula One, I'm not a fan, but we'll see what other car categories decide.
Formula One can make a good track seem boring sometimes too. To be fair, I mean it's just the way they race and the way those cars were designed, which is the whole point of them changing the regulations to make those cars more raceable. But of course, every series known to man has been trying to do that for years. NASCAR has been fighting that same thing for 30 years, trying to make the cars more raceable so that when you get behind another car, you don't lose the front end on them,
Yeah, that's and that's the problem, isn't it? So we'll see what Miami brings if a few series start to do it and we get to cover them. We'll see what Miami can bring, but it's pretty interesting to see how this race is going to turn out. Gaps just started to spread out a little bit now through the field. Henson on the back of Pratt, or within a second of Pratt for, here we go. Kinney's back up the inside of Collier. And that'll be a move for the Corvette there. Kinney back through on, he's second place in that AM category. That's not going to change because he's fighting with a pro driver, and he's got back through at the bus stop chicane. These two having a good little ding-dong at the moment, swapping places every couple of laps.
Yeah, and I think it's not realistic to think that he can make up an 11-second gap on the leader in the category or in the class, but short of some sort of incident happening, which obviously we don't wish on anybody. But we are trying to get a couple of battles back here. This Andy Pratt and Chad Henson battle here is kind of shaping up. Another incredibly colorful Porsche. Oh, that's the same one, isn't it?
That's the same one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same one we covered earlier. Not really seen Henson in this race. He's kind of had a quiet one, gone under the radar. And
don't even recognize that
minutes
car.
Of this race. No, last 10 minutes of this race, all of a sudden he's fighting for P4 overall. So what can Henson do? Clean looking livery on that.
Just kind of simple, just kind of nice colors, no bunch of decals all over it or what have you. Just
sometimes too many decals spoils the car, in my opinion. Cleaner is better, in my opinion.
Yes, and then there's Andy Pratt's car.
Yes, and then there's every colour that you can think of on his car.
There's this.
Blue, yellow, green, pink, purple, black, bit of red and orange.
I have to say, I kind of like it though. If I must admit, there is a part of me that likes it. I like colorful stuff. You ought to see some of the shoes I wear.
Here we go. Hansen comes to the outside, has a look, can't make that one done. That has put Pratt deep, and this is what we're saying about Knox and Ashton earlier. The way you're going to get it done is by possibly distracting the driver in front. Hansen gets a little up and under and gets through on the main straight into La Source over that of Pratt.
So had a little twitch there coming off the corner. Yeah. He got on the curbing there, and that rear end twitched out on him just enough to give Hansen a good run there. And we'll see if Pratt can make it up coming down through La Source. I mean through. Radion and Eau Rouge.
If he gets a good run through it, he should be able to possibly just creep onto the back of the Corvette in front. But a lovely move there from Henson. Capitalised where Pratt made a mistake, and now Pratt's the one who's got to try and make up that manoeuvre. Kinney's in the pit lane again, so we said that Kinney may have to pit towards the end, and that of White and possibly Manning. Well, that is Kinney into the pits. What a shame for him, because that's put him down a place to White and Grusing in the pro category. He's now dropped to third. Black flag being shown for Orchin. So yellow flag is a slowdown.
Yeah, black flag is going to be a penalty. He's going to have to. It's either going to be a drive-through or a stop.
That's too many off tracks. Picked up possibly a drive-through penalty for track limits.
Yeah, unless he just pitted recently. Did he just no? Yeah, it's probably an off-track situation.
Yeah, Pratt losing out a little bit now to Henson in this race. We're in towards that final 5 minutes of this one as well. And Manning's managed to gain a place over Orchin, who's got himself that black flag. So it'll be a penalty towards his name. Don't worry if you're new to watching iRacing. It's not disqualification. It just means that he's got some form of stop-go or drive-through penalty.
As long as we don't see a big white X across the black flag. When you see the big white X, it's bad.
That's when you know he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's disqualified. They pull you right off the screen. You're gone.
Manning now into the pit, so he did have to pit again. So I'm interested to see if White will have to pit, because he came. No, did he? I don't think he came in at the same time. Did he? Did White? Even though he had a bit of damage, I don't remember seeing him in at the same time as.
No, he pitted like a lap later, like lap 6.
So he's probably going to have to pit with 1 or 2 laps to go in this race.
Maybe, unless he's been taking it easy, conserving fuel.
3.5 minutes, so that's 2 laps at least left, depending on where Ashton is on the circuit, of course.
Yeah,
but
we'll see where is Jack.
Can he stay third in category even though he's done his pit stop?
Yeah, he did. That's actually not bad. How far is he?
He's only 3.8 off of second place as well, so not a million miles away.
No, not at all. I mean, he's been fast.
Yeah.
Which is funny. It's it's the other Smith. It's Brandon Smith, not White. It's ahead of him. I was thinking that would be interesting if those two came back together to finish out the race since they had that incident earlier.
Yeah, it would indeed. So Kinney's got to try and chase down that of 3.5 seconds to Brandon Smith.
Manning just pitted as well, by the way.
Yeah, so he's done his pit stop. Orchin came in, did his drive-through, still got the black flag, so he's possibly sped in the pits to give himself yet another drive-through or stop-go penalty to serve. And Pratt hasn't let this one go on Henson yet. He's not close enough, but he's still stayed within that second area to not let this one go at the moment.
Yeah, for some reason, I could not get the time to show on this thing. James probably removed it because he knows how much I like putting the time up there. He probably took it away from me before he
took it away from you. Yeah. So lap 19 of this race with 2 minutes exactly left. So we'll get one last lap in this one. And Jack Ashton, since the pit stops, has been absolutely dominant. He's just coming towards Blanchimont now. Okay. So, one lap left after this one.
Yep, he'll take the white here. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, indeed, and he's been really dominant. He put that incredible fastest lap in to pull, to gap Knox to 2.5 seconds, and since the pit stops, it's not been under 6.5. No,
he's just been, he controlled this race pretty much the entire race. I think he was in control. He left the gap reasonably close for a while, but when he decided that he wanted to spread it out a little bit, he did. And you can see the difference there. It's 6 seconds, almost 7 seconds is huge. And at Spa, just look, he's just starting to go up towards Eau Rouge and Radillon now, and you can see Ashton is almost all the way down to Lacombe there.
Yeah, the Lacombe. Yeah, he is indeed. You can just see Knox, just made out Knox behind the timing tower a little moment ago as Orchin's back in to serve his penalty. So this is the final lap of the race. White is on the back of Grusing, or just got under a second. It's just tipped back over that second mark. Bartlett is on the back of Grassi as well for 16th and 17th. And there I said it. White's going to have to pit with 1 or 2 laps to go.
On the last lap.
And that is him coming into the pit. So not enough fuel to get him to the end of this race, sadly. That's going to drop him down the order a little bit. That'll be last in the pro category. Yeah. And that will also allow the likes of Smith and Kinney to possibly get through. Kinney's got 2 seconds to make up on Smith in front to try that second place back. We've got Garassi, who's close to the back of Bartlett for 16th and 17th down the order. That's 0.3 of a second coming on to start their final lap of the race. There is Garassi now, just on the back of the BMW Porsche. It's not as brightly coloured, yellow and white, with a bit of...
Still pretty loud, though. I like it, but,
Yeah, it's nice looking livery. He's gone a little deep at the bus stop chicane. That's a nice livery on that BMW.
Oh,
the New Zealand, the Kiwi symbol from like the cricket and the rugby team on the side of that car. That's beautiful. On Respot, that's possibly my favourite of tonight.
That's a good looking livery. And Reese is, like I said, the guy who I was talking to the other day, and he resides where my wife and I talked about. That's so funny. Talked about retiring too. As Jack Ashton.
Then he comes round the final corners. He's going to take a dominant victory here. 7.7 seconds. Jack Ashton wins at Spa. A clinical performance from the Brit to take the win. Ian Knox, the Australian, second best tonight. And then it is a fight for fifth and sixth between Pratt and that of Henson for fourth and fifth. And Henson just going to keep ahead there. Huber gets P3. Henson crosses for fourth. Pratt in fifth. Taylor's then a little bit further down the road for that P6. But what a race from everybody. I do like the green on Josh Taylor's car as well, to be fair. It's a nice looking green. That he'll come across for P6 in this one. And Josh Taylor will be pleased with that, the Brit there. In that race, and Stuart Brereton, he's going to take the race win, was fighting very hard with Enquist in the 4GT car earlier on in this race, but he's going to win in the AM category, 7th overall for him. Collier will take P8. Manning has finished 18th place after his damage earlier on in this one. Here comes Grusing then to take P number 9. Quiet race for him. I don't remember seeing Grusing much in too many fights there. And Brandon Smith is going to hold off that of Kinney. Kinney got within 1.7 seconds, but he's going to take P2 in the AM class from Kinney, P3. Kinney would have probably won the AM class had it not been for that damage in the 2 pit stops he's had to make. But a P3, a podium he could be proud of.
That was brutal for him, man. I mean, the thing is, he might have survived one of them, but the two of them together. I love that. I love when they wreck them after the race.
And straight all into the wall. Good job they don't have to pay the bills for these repairs on these cars. That's the beauty of sim racing. Coach 13th, Enquist is going to come across 14th from Hager, Bartlett, and then Garassi. Orchin has finished down in 19th place. That's a quick replay.
There you go.
The aftermath. There we go. Flash of the lights as he crosses the line in towards turn 1. Little weave to say thank you to the crowd. And he's spotted his target. Oh, he's actually slowed down and then thinks, oh no, I'm going to have this Porsche. Right into him, into the wall.
Good stuff.
Bit of frustrations probably there for the young man as well as.
He had a great run. He really did, and he was so strong, and for that to happen to him, just so unfortunate. Like I said, he may have survived one of the 2 incidents, but both of them together, he's kind of tore up both ends of his car. It didn't do him a lot of good. All right,
no, it didn't.
See if we get some race results here, maybe.
We have got a couple of race results, hopefully, to bring you your way. Here we go, then. Jack Ashton, your winner overall. 7.6 seconds clear of Ian Knox. Ken Huber was P3 from Chad Henson. Andy Pratt close to him, though, with a good fight at the end. With Josh Taylor rounding out P6. Stuart Brereton, P7. And the winner in AM, 8th for Cason Collier, with 9th going the way of Philip Grusing. P10 and 2nd in the AM class for Brandon Smith. Garrett Kinney was 11th overall and 3rd in the AM class from Brandon White. Ian Coates, Parker Enquist, Sam Hager, Reese Bartlett, and then Garassi and Manning bringing up the rear. And I believe there was one more driver in 19th. That was Eric Orchin, who had that double drive-through penalty to his name to serve at the end.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if we have interviews or not.
No, there's no interview waiting room. They're all in the race chat. So
they are all in the race chat.
I'm not 100% sure, so I don't know if we're going to wrap this one up. And
I'm guessing
I can ask about interviews for next week.
I'm guessing that we probably don't, but then I did talk to them earlier and said I wanted to see if I could drag people in, and they said, they were glad that I had that. So I don't know, but it would seem like that they would be interview waiting room. I would say probably not. Like I said, I don't.
Yeah,
there would be a waiting room, I think, if there was.
Yeah, I think we could put that one to them for the next time out. But the next time out will be in 2026. We'll be next back. We get that 2-week break and we head to Laguna Seca on the 2nd of January. The 15th of January is the Nürburgring Grand Prix. I won't be here for that one, so I think it might be Tristan back in the booth for that. Road America to end out January, and then Bathurst, Mount Panorama on the 13th of February, and Monza on the 27th of February. So thank you all for tuning in. For those who have watched, thank you for being a part of this GTE race tonight. A cracking bit of racing from all the drivers out there. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a great New Year, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.